And they did not kick the bucket.
That's why so many are there. So this is supposed to go for how long?
This is supposed to go till I think 5:30 or 5.
Right?
Yeah, 5:30. Achha. 5:45.
1 hour.
1 hour. Yes, 4:45.
Oh, today's supper is quite early, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those who would like to go back home.
And then
yeah,
whole
then
day program.
Whole day program. So tomorrow they have to come again. Oh, okay. Now it comes out of the bucket now.
ভয়েস রেকর্ডারটা চলছে মহারাজ
ঠিক আছে বন্ধ করে দাও and restart it so that you will have a break.
হ্যাঁ মহারাজ
Yeah.
না মহারাজ এটা টেপ করছি হ্যাঁ ওকে মহারাজ স্টার্টিং নাও তাহলে
That light is on. It's on. Okay. So we will start now. Yeah. The first question, why people are afraid of death even though they know those who have taken birth must die? It's a most wonderful question. We are all frightened of death. That's because we know only part of the truth about death. And we are totally identified with our body and those who are connected with the things which are connected with the body. If we know that death is not the final end, but it is part of the journey, then we would not be so much frightened. But the real answer why we are frightened of death is we think, we are instinctively, we want life. Recently I heard a very beautiful quotation in Detroit. Death and life were having a conversation. And death asked, why is it everyone loves you and hates me? Then life answered, that's because they think they know that I am a beautiful lie and you are an ugly truth. We do not know either about life, neither we know about death. We think we know about life. No, because life and death are exactly the same thing, seen from different angles. There is an instinctive longing for life, for knowledge, and for happiness. So the answer is why we are afraid. The only security or happiness that we know really comes from our known circumstances. Life is unknown, we don't know what happens next. like a child who is abruptly transferred to a totally new environment where he again has to work to get new friends, etc. So, the answer is because we are immortal in our nature, consciously we don't know, but unconsciously we search for life. Does Dakshina also mean grace? Yes, Dakshina also means grace. That's why we call it at the end of worship. Dakshina is given. Dakshina. So Dakshina means peace, Dakshina means grace. That is the implied meaning, not etymological meaning. Etymological meaning, Dakshina means samarthaha, dakshaha. It is also, as I mentioned, the name of a direction. So that's why Divine Mother Kali, Dakshina Kali, Samartha, Kushala, skillful. She can create. She does create, she does maintain, and she does destroy. Can you tell more about teaching in silence? It's a very nice question. What does it mean to teach in silence? Now there is something very wonderful we know. If you put a seed in the ground covers the seed. It has to grow silently. If it is kept in a harsh environment, it won't grow at all. So silence, what is silence? It is to manifest our true nature. Silence doesn't mean that we stop talking. We never stop talking except in deep sleep. If we don't talk to others, we will be talking with our own selves. Constant monologue is going on with ourselves. So, what is silence really? It doesn't mean we should not talk. It doesn't mean that we should talk. It means let us be our own selves. Let me give you an example. Already morning I gave a hint. You can go on telling to your children and be happy, be truthful, etc. But if you are not truthful, if you are not happy, you can never ever by telling people make them. That is impossible. That is why when Sri Ramakrishna used to teach, his words are only a small part of what he really taught. The greatest example of this silence is Ramana Maharshi. Rarely he used to talk. Most of the time he used to sit and stare. And yet, how many people used to get the vibrations and get their doubts removed, get inspired. His talking part is very, very small. Creativity, any sort of creativity grows in silence. Silence means the expression of the Atman, unimpeded by the dancing of the mind. That is a true silence. So, real teaching comes only from those who have stilled their minds. Creativity comes only from those who have really learned how to still their minds. Then the manifestation will come. We also, our creativity grows through silence only, if we understand our life. Let me explain. Every day we go through these three states: waking, dream and dreamless. What is the dreamless state? a state of silence. You silence the mind, dancing of the mind. That's why when we wake up, we feel freshness. And when we have really good, refreshing sleep, you see, our mind perceives things in a better light. Every day is a new day. In fact, every day is a new day. As Indina Vara, Shubhavara. Indina Dinave, Shubha Dinavu. This is a beautiful song. Recently, Swami Gautamanji sang Purandaradasa's songs. So, that day on which we remember God is a most auspicious day. That week which we remember God is an auspicious week. So, everything like that. So, what is the point we are discussing? Every day is a new creation for us. We die every day. This is, many people don't know. It is called daily pralaya, nitya pralaya. Every night when we go into deep sleep, when we wake up, new srishti starts. But with the old seeds. So that is why when you wake up, you say, why did I not get mangoes? How will you get mangoes? You brought with you neem seeds. You will not get mango fruits. So if you want mango fruits, you will have to bring mango, means good thoughts, good samskaras. So mauna, that is the word, Sanskrit word. It is an interesting word. Mananat munihi. By deep thinking, a person becomes muni. What manana? Thinking of holy and noble thoughts. What we think, that's what we become. You say, one person came and asked him, Swami, can you teach me about meditation? He was deeply worried man. So he asked me, can you teach me meditation? I said, I do not need to teach you meditation because you are already dhyana siddha. You have become perfect in meditation. What are you talking about, Swami? I am talking about you. You have meditated upon worry so consistently. Your very face appears to be a worried face. Yeah, it is true. If you are meditating on anger, you will become an angry person. If you meditate upon hatred, you become a hating person, is it not? Yeah. So, we know meditation already, in more ways than one. We meditated, I am the body. And as a result, we feel unbroken knowledge that we are the body, is it not? Swami Sharadananda discusses this point so beautifully in Sri Ramakrishna, the great master. So why this Madhura Bhava has become is suitable for men. Men practice sweet mood, devotional mood, but it is more suited to women because women can think of God as their beloved. But how is it suited for men? Fortunate Sri Ramakrishna was born 100 years back. Today that question is a relevant question. Yeah. So, Sharadananda raised this question. Then he says, how did we come to think that we are human beings by thinking we are the body? How did we come to think that we are male by thinking we are the male? So once we can be successful in thinking that we are not the male, if we can succeed in it, then we can easily succeed in thinking that we are not also the body. What a brilliant idea. So that is the point. What is the point? By constantly thinking we are the body, we have become the body. Not only that, I can give hundreds of examples. So, are you a Vedantist? Yes, you would say yes. Are you a Hindu? Yes. Where is it written on your forehead that you are a Hindu? Or you are a Christian? Is it written anywhere? By constantly being told, by constantly being thinking, we ourselves have labeled that we are Hindus, we are Indians. Is there anything on India, is there anywhere written you are India? On America, is it written you are America? On any piece of land, is it written you are Australia, you are Pakistan? It is all man-made divisions, isn't it? So how do you think that you are from Pakistan? Because you think constantly, I am from Pakistan, I am from India. You have not forgotten that idea. You are an American citizen maybe. But if there is a football match between India and America, and if the Indians win, you celebrate, and if the Americans win, I don't know what you will do. That identity has not gone. Constant thinking. But if we can think of God constantly, and that is what is called japa. I am a devotee of God. I am a child of the mother. In this connection, it's very interesting. There are 3 births according to Hinduism, Vedanta. According to Vedanta, there are 3 births. First birth is biological birth. Every birth needs parents, mother and father. So by being born, this very body, we have a father and we have a mother. And as you know, Brahmins, they have sacred thread. Then they are called twice born. And they have a mother and father. So who is the mother and father? The Gayatri mantra becomes the mother, and the person, Guru, who initiated becomes the father. Every birth requires parents, mother and father. And many of our devotees here are initiated. You are also twice born. So if you are initiated in a Ramakrishna tradition, who is your father? Ramakrishna. Who is your mother? Holy Mother. You see, suppose your mother and father are also initiated by the same Swami. Then what do they become to you? Brother disciples, is it not? Guru Bhai and Guru Bhagini. So this is called spiritual birth. This is the second birth. Twice born. But there is another birth also. What is that? Sannyasa. When a person takes to sannyasa, that's why Purvashrama goes. Even the sacred thread is put in the fire. And the shekha, the tuft of hair, that is also cut off, offered in the fire. Then God becomes the Shastra. Shastra becomes the mother, Guru becomes the father. That is the final birth actually. What is the point? We all have come to believe by thinking, I am an Indian, I am an American, I am a Hindu, I am a Christian. Nowhere it is written. If you change your religion, your citizenship, what do you become? New citizen. So if you change your religion, then if you are a Christian and if you follow Ramakrishna, what do you become? Ram Christian. Yeah, you become a Ram Christian. So like that, our thinking makes what we really are. So what is mauna? Think noble thoughts. What is noble thought? There is only one noble thought. What is it? I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. And when you come to that point, there is nothing else to think about. And that state is called real mauna. Then you become a muni. And that state, if you have attained, even wild creatures, and they are also not frightened of you. It is said, wild animals behave very, very friendly towards. This is the truth many times. Sometimes they may not understand, but that is the truth. So only such people can really teach. How do they teach? Not verbally, but through their very being. Vibration comes, good vibration. I will not answer further because it is sufficiently explanatory, but I will give an example. Sri Ramakrishna used to get lots of visitors. Some worldly people also used to come. And nobody tells him, this is a worldly person. He knows by instinct. So what is he feeling really? Who taught him that this is a worldly person, this is a devotee? Our very being, it advertises. Only we are unable to understand because we are hiding from ourselves. We are also hiding from others. And lot of smells, lot of colors are hiding us. Anyway, just wanted to conclude. The mauna. Mauna means being what one is. That is true mauna. And that alone tells, and nothing else works real. Is waking up from the dream solely by the grace of God, or is it also a function of one's efforts? Yes, it is neither, really speaking. It is neither, because we are making a distinction between God and myself. So, the answer is here. During waking state, if I think that I am a person different from God, when I go to dream, then I wake myself up. But during the waking state, if I completely surrender myself to God, then when I go into dream state, it is God who wakes me up. But if I am a devotee thinking of God, I am devotee, you are God, then when I go into a dream, then I pray to God, oh Lord, please wake me up. Then God will come in some form and will wake me up. So the answer is, depends upon who we think we are. Anyway, let me tell you a nice joke. Once a priest was giving a sermon. Suddenly, a 60-year-old woman walked and sat on the front pew along with her grandson. After a few minutes, she started snoring. The priest got insulted. He called the grandson and said, "You fellow, wake your grandmother up." He said, "No way. You put her to sleep." From a philosophical point of view, this question is wonderful. The whole waking, dream, dreamless state, who is going through all these states, really speaking? How many of us are going? If you can create the whole dream world by one of you, the waker, then why do you not think that it is God can also create this whole universe? So from that standpoint of view, it is God who goes to dream state. It is God who prays to God, "Oh God, please wake me up." and the God whom he prays to, and then somehow wakes him up and says, "Oh God, do not cry, it is only a dream, and I will wake you up." And when he wakes up and says, "Yes, what a God I am. I forgot that I am God. I was praying only to myself and I woke myself up." The truth is, it is God who is playing with himself. So it is said, it is God's dream which we call our world, nothing else. It's a very profound teaching of Vedanta. That is why morning we said, who creates evil? And how could God create evil? He cannot create evil because if he creates evil, whom is he injuring? Himself. That cannot be. So then what is it? It is just like in a dream or in a cinema, you see a murder taking place, then you don't call that murder a crime. Is it not? The actor who acts the murderer's role, if he has, supposing, it's an interesting thought, there is the hero and then villain. And the villain gives black and blue to the hero. And then afterwards somebody has to judge how they acted. And suppose the villain acted superbly. Who gets the reward? It is the villain. So that is why it is called Leela. But we should not commit the mistake. We don't know that this is Leela. We think this is real. Therefore we are bound by certain rules and regulations. So when we totally wake us up, then we will know that it is all God playing with himself. It's a beautiful incident in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. He died from cancer. Who died? Who died from cancer? Not Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, what we call that body which is called Sri Ramakrishna. And he was suffering so much. And some devotees felt very badly about it. And he himself was pretending that it was very bad. I don't know whether to laugh or to weep. There was this fellow who met an accident. There was a small crack in the bone. So he went to the doctor, and within no time the doctor made him all right. After 6 months, suddenly the doctor saw him limping with crutches. Doctor was surprised, said, "You fellow, I cured you long back. Why are you still holding on to the crutches?" He said, "I don't know what to do. You, my doctor, say that I am cured, but my lawyer says I am not all right." Until the court case is resolved, I will not be all right. So, Ramakrishna seemed to be suffering. I tell you why. One day, Swami Turiyananda, at that time not Swami, Hari Maharaj, he came. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "Oh, don't you see how much I am suffering?" And he coolly replied, "No, sir. I see you are swimming in the ocean of Satchidananda." And immediately Sri Ramakrishna's mind is, "Sala Dhorechere." This rogue had found me out. So, how do we understand this phenomena? And suppose you are acting in the drama as though you are suffering. You should act very realistically. And then on one side that it is all pretense. But your audience should know that you are having real suffering. So that is a very peculiar situation. And every Jivan Mukta or living free, he goes through that state. Now what is the point? Was he really suffering or not? He was suffering from the ignorant point of view. From the knowledge point of view, he was not even born. How can he suffer? You read the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and his disciples, Mahapurush Maharaj, 70 years old. He had a lot of ailments. One day a devotee came and he asked him, Maharaj, how old are you? He said, I was not even born. How can you say that, what is my age? Only if someone is born, yes. Anyway, there was this fellow who went to a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist asked him, what is the problem with you? He said, Doctor, somehow I feel I am a dog. I am a dog. Oh, since how long have you been feeling? Got furious. He said, what do you mean by since how long? Ever since I was a puppy. So, from one point of view, it is all true, real. Happiness is real, suffering is real, birth is real, death is real. From the other point of view, it is all make-believe. So, do you see the answer now? Why Vedanta, it doesn't accept neither goodness nor evil. Both are two ways, two angles from which we view exactly the same thing. In your dream, if someone is beating you, tell me who is the beater and who is the beaten. In the Bhagavad Gita it comes, Yayenam vetti hantaram, Eschainyam manyate hatam, Ubhautau na vijanito, Nayam hanti Nahanyate. He who thinks he is the slayer and he who thinks he is the slain, both do not know the truth. The truth is the Atman is neither the slayer nor the slain. That is the truth. So, can the Atman kill itself? Even for God, Shankaracharya says, even it is impossible for God to kill the Atman. Why? God is the Atman. How can he kill? After killing himself, he says, I killed this fellow. Do you get the point? I remains. That is why it's not possible. So good and evil, all the dream, waking and sleep, all the from one point or from our point of view it is real. From the God's point of view it is all Leela. Ishvara's point of view it is real, not from God's point of view. God means Parabrahma. From Parabrahma he has no mind at all. If there is no mind, no body, no mind. A person if he has no mind, he has neither body, nor mind, nor soul. In deep sleep, do you feel? Is there mind? Anyway, so that is the answer. Is there a free will or is it all divine will? Exactly the same question. This is an ever-going discussion. Do we have any freedom or is it all predetermined? What is the answer? Sri Ramakrishna had tried to give an answer. There is a cow and a farmer tied it with a length of rope to a tree. And the cow is free according to the length of the rope. Is it free? You get the point? Somebody tied it with a length of rope. It is free within that periphery of the rope. Is it really free? Yeah. Once I went to Bangalore to one devotee's house. Achalanandaji's son is written a plaque. I am the master of the house with the kind permission of my wife. We are like that. Truly speaking, from a jiva's point of view, there is no free will. But God has given a length of rope. Say within this periphery, you can exercise your freedom. But that freedom is also given by God only. Only God is free. Everything else is completely tied up. I say otherwise, with the question also will not come. This is the point. If you are free, who puts this question? Only a person who is bound. If one dream can be dissolved upon waking, and this world can also be dissolved by enlightenment, how do we know that there is not an endless set of successive, recursive dreams of infinitum? The question itself gives the answer. When you wake up from this dream state, what comes to an end? The dream world. Who remains? You remain. So therefore, nothing else will come until you choose to enter into another dream world. Do you get the point? These infinite recurring dreams come to whom? To the waker. Because he chooses to go into the dream state. But we are not talking about that kind of dream. Let me explain. It is a little bit wonderful question. When we say a dream, who is telling that this is a dream? How do you know it is a dream? Because you wake up. From the waking point of view, that's a dream. But from the dream point of view, that's a waking state. So we are constantly going through these three states: waking, dream and dreamless state. But there is one who is constantly there. Let me illustrate. There are three rooms, A, B, C. And you choose to move from room A to B, from B to C, from C to A. When you go from A to B, you only know the room B. You don't know A and C. When you go to room C, you only know room C. You don't know A, B. When you come to A, you don't know about B and C. You only know room A. Is that point clear? But you are never changed. There is no break in you. So from this time to this time, you are in room A. From this time to next time, you are in room B. From next time to next time, you will be in the room C. You are 24 hours, you are there without any break. You understand that? So, what is the answer to this question? So long as we are identified with one state, I am the waker, then there will be dream, dreamless, again waking. But when we wake from this dream states, all the three are dream states, and really realize that I am the true witness of these three states, then all the dreams will come to an end. After that, there would be no more recurring, and that state is called liberation. Once a state of liberation comes, no more dreams. Because if again dreams come, that means you are not really liberated. Once liberation comes, there will be no endless succession. In any case, what is the problem having dreams? The problem is, if you think dream is a reality, you have a problem. But if you know that dream is only a cinema-like, you can enjoy cinema any number of times. wonderful incident happened. Swami Vivekananda, he met Robert Ingersoll, and there was a talk. And Robert Ingersoll said, and my aim in life is to squeeze this orange called this world. And Swamiji replied, exactly that is my aim also. The only difference is you can only squeeze once, but I can go on squeezing any number of times because it is not reality for me. I can see this, loop, infinite loop of this song. Same song goes on playing again and again. That is the condition. Once we attain knowledge, all dreams come to an end. Lotus feet. What should be understood, is it? How should it be understood? Lotus feet. In Hindu tradition, this lotus feet means is a reverence for the feet of the Guru, or elder, or God. It is all same. So it is referring to the reverence, not to the feet. Otherwise, it will become like that you never look at the face of you only bathe. Suppose you are a devoted disciple of your Guru and you go on bathing his feet only and never his body. Just imagine what happens. And then all the offerings go where? Only to the feet. The poor fellow is starving and all the feet is getting all the food. Yeah. A real incident happened, interesting incident happened. There was a Narayana Guru in Kerala and he became very popular and thousands of disciples were there and they started celebrating his birthday. His teaching is, I am not born. Year by year, the celebration was growing. So he became 80 years old and he said, and he was taken under a tent, open platform. He would be sitting there until puja. One day he rebelled. He took up the courage in his hands and then he said, it is too much for me, I can't sit such a long time. I will not go. They said, okay, you don't need to come, we will put a photograph and we will do it. And with great eclat, thousands of people came. And puja was going on and on and on. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2:30, heaps and heaps of sweets and food was being offered with all mantras. At 2:30, the man somehow with great difficulty with a stick comes and says, I am feeling very hungry. Would you give me a little bit of food? So lotus feet means it is a reverence. Why? We bow down. Bowing down itself is an act of humility. So it is humility, reverence that is indicated, not really feet. Anyway, just a funny thought passed through my mind. Suppose the Guru had an accident and his feet are up. His head is down. What are you going to do? You think over it, you have got plenty. How do you define a vision? It's a very wonderful question. Many people, many devotees, they are confused about this. Vision. Now vision can occur as a hallucination. You go on thinking something, then you can have a vision. And vision can occur as a divine grace. God can appear in a vision. Now, how do we know what is it a true vision or is it my own, what is called imagination? Here also there are two answers. If you are thinking of say Rama or Christ, you can have a vision. It may be your own intensified imagination. And there's nothing bad. Actually, it's very, very good. You may have a dream. That shows that you are even in your dream, you are thinking of noble thoughts. That's very good. But some people, unfortunately, they have what is called madcaps. Now, God came and told me to kill this fellow, or to do, they hear voices, they see commandments and all those things. So that is really bad. Sometimes God really appears either in a dream or in a waking state also. That is true vision. How do we know? There is only one test. The test is, if it is a true vision, it will always make us stronger, our understanding becomes deeper, our love for the world, for God always grows. If the change will be permanent. If the change for good is permanent, that is a real vision. If the change is temporary for good, that is our imagination. But if the behavior is demonic, then what vision he has is only demonic vision. Demons come also in the form of Ishtadevata, but it's not true vision at all. What is the relationship of one's karma and God's will? We say God pulls all strings like a puppeteer. Man is creating his own karma. We are certain to experience the fruit of our karma. Where does God's will come in here? God's will also, God's grace. Two factors we have to distinguish here. First of all, even God's will also follows our karma only. That's why in Vedanta, God is called Vidhata. Vidhata means he is a supervisor who gives the exact results of our own karma. So we should have no mistake. Our body, our circumstances, our mental, it is all our own creations here. If you pray to God, then you are creating new samskara. Then God also will accordingly improve your better opportunity he will give you. But supposing we pray to God very sincerely, we are in difficulties, then can God listen? Can God bestow His grace? Can He reduce our karma? This is one of the important questions. Can He nullify the effects of our karma? Yes, He can do that. Holy Mother used to say, if someone were to suffer, a plowshare has to go through the person, but by God's grace it can be reduced. But we should not misunderstand that statement. What is the statement? What is the meaning? The meaning is, what is the purpose of karma phala? First of all, what is the purpose of karma phala? Not to give us happiness or unhappiness. These are to guide us to God. So if we have learnt our lesson, if we have done something wrong, and we have to go through suffering, but we understood we did something wrong, we learnt our lesson, then we said, Lord, I made a mistake, I will not commit this mistake again. You have learnt your lesson. The purpose of karma phala is only to make us learn the lesson. Once we learn our lesson, that lesson need not be repeated to us. That is the answer. That is the grace. When we realize God, then we understand that God is pulling all the strings. Until that time, simply reading a book and saying, God is making me do, that would be hypocrisy. I do whatever I like and I say, God is pulling the strings, I am only an instrument in His, and that is not correct. It is deceiving oneself. Only a realized soul can say, it is God who is pulling all strings. Even if he is beaten or killed, what will he say? It is God's will. He is playing, but he is not frightened because there is no death. There is no fear of death in such a devotee. For him, God being a puppeteer is absolute joy, unlimited joy. For us, is if he pulls so that rasagollas fall into our mouth, is a good puppeteer. But if pumpkins fall on our head, it is not God pulling. Some shala is pulling, to go on straight. We experience both dream and waking states. But why should I believe that waking state also is like a dream? I do not experience a state where this makes sense. So, is this a matter of faith or belief? In that case, this DM Stotram, Dakshinamurty Stotram is also a Stotram of devotion to Guru for knowledge, but not for independent devotion. Really speaking, if what I try to express you have understood, when you are dreaming, do you really feel that it is a dream? Or do you feel it is a waking state? What is the big deal of difference you are making between your experience of dream state and your experience of waking state? If a rasagholla falls in your dream, you feel happy there. If somebody beats you, you feel unhappy. Is it not exact replica of our so-called waking state? Then what is the point of discussing about dream state? The whole point is, while we are dreaming, we think that is real. But when we wake up, we know it is all our own thoughts. Can it not be this waking state is also exactly the same? Maybe there is another state. Waking up from this so-called waking state, which we now call waking, becomes a dream state from that point of view. Only we have a right to call this a dream state only when we wake up. Just as when we are dreaming, we don't call it dream. Only upon waking, comparison, that was unreal, this is real. So do we need to wake up from this waking state to the real waking state. Then from that point of view, this becomes unreal. Dream state means unreal. Unreal means it is my own creation. In fact, even that word unreality is a bad word. I would say the whole objects we experience in dream is none other than our own self. The same way, when we wake up, when we say Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, I am Brahman, the whole universe is also Brahman. Then it becomes Leela. Until that time, we have no right to say this is either dream is a dream state or waking state is a dream state. That's not possible. So the purpose of this stotra is to make us think that what we think this waking state, might it not be also like a dream state? If it succeeds in making us think like that, its purpose is served. But most interesting thing is, your Guru Bhakti, is it also not your imagination? Do you get the point? In dream, a tiger is about to devour you. And unfortunately, you had a Guru in your dream, or a God, and you pray to him. He comes and then, whom does he shoot? He doesn't shoot the tiger. He shoots you. Because if he shoots one tiger, another tiger may come. But if he shoots you, then the whole tiger world is over. Then you wake up. So that is the point. By God, that is also a dream. But that is why, if you study Sri Ramakrishna's gospel, you can really enjoy. Shukadeva went to Janaka. What did Janaka ask? Pay the fees first. Because you are asking me to save you from this waking state. But once I give you the knowledge, then you will know that this is all my own imagination. Say, why should I pay to Guru, who is also my imagination? So better you pay the fees first. Afterwards you may feel that I am also a dream. The thoughts you are sharing with us very profound, but why are they interspersed with so many jokes? Is this the style in Vedanta teaching? Separating sugar from sand. What is this? Another talk for this student. I don't remember. Can't understand this. Anyway. Yes, not every, first of all, every Swami doesn't joke. You have to understand that I am a very special Swami. Yeah. There are some Swamis who try to tell jokes. And then they tell you, I am going to tell a joke. And then they tell a joke. And then they tell, I told you a joke. And then only you understand that you are supposed to laugh. Yeah, it is true, and this is my style. I like to be enlightened, but I don't think I should distract you with jokes. There is a point in it. Take the point, enjoy it, and it will be nice. I know some audience do not like serious subject, only very serious it should be. But it is also in our tradition. The Ramakrishna used to tell jokes. You read the gospel, so many stories are there, funny stories. Swami Vivekananda, he used to tell a lot of jokes. So once one lady asked, Swami, do you ever become serious? He said, yes. When I get dyspepsia, I become very serious. But do not mistake, every Swami does that. This is only few Swamis who do it. Unfortunately, I am one of them. I cannot describe my deep sleep experience. Even though I have experienced it, I simply don't remember it. An awakened soul cannot describe his or her awakened experience because they don't have the words. How is deep sleep different from the awakened state? This is the last question. Wonderful question. Swami Vivekananda was once asked, probably many times he was asked, what is the difference between deep sleep and samadhi? And he gave a very beautiful categorical reply. He said, if a fool goes into deep sleep, upon awakening, he remains the same fool. But if a fool goes into samadhi, after waking up, he would be a Jivan Mukta, a wise person, a knowledgeable person. So, we cannot describe certain states, that is very true. Deep sleep cannot be described, but there is also a description there. Not that it cannot be described, it is describable. In what way? Sukham aham aswapsam. I slept very nicely. I feel refreshed. Nakinchit avedisham. I did not know anything. I had a sound sleep. So I had a very refreshing experience. That refreshment is the description of good sleep. So it is not describable because it is nothing. It is emptiness, not because of that. There is nothing to describe. This is the point. There is nothing to describe. There is no object there. There is no thought there. Therefore, what will you describe? It's like saying, I see darkness. It's an interesting example, dense darkness. And you can't see anything. And you are asked to describe. What would be your reply? The only reply you can give is, I see darkness. What do you mean by that? Can anyone see darkness? If you see the darkness, it will be light. What do you mean? I cannot see anything. That is what is called Seeing darkness means not seeing anything. So that is sleeping state. Similarly, the state of awakening also cannot be described. But though it cannot be described, its effect tells us more clearly than any description that it is an awakened state, because that person becomes identified with everybody, he becomes unselfish, he cannot deviate from truth, and he loves everyone, he becomes fearless, he becomes Brahman. That's very clearly experienceable by anybody, fearlessness. Even a dangerous animal doesn't fear. So this is how the description is not important, the effect is important. So this is the answer. We had nice questions. I hope my answers are all right. But if they are not all right, don't tell it to me now. After I leave, put the questions to Swami Yoga. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yeah.
So friends, today's study of Dakshinamurty Stotram is